Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. And we're zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question, and that is brought to us from a very wonderful viewer who has a very astute comment, and I want to bring that to light in the focus of this video. And that was her comment that basically the narc enjoys ruining family events, family holidays, or vacations. And furthermore, she states they enjoy ruining vacations. They do this to make others feel uncomfortable and terrorize the family in a car, whether they are driving or someone else is driving. They ruin the holidays. And so it is this comment that I really want to bring to light, and the fact that they enjoy this sort of drawing out of attention. In other words, they are really become out of control, or really kind of their personality is more exasperated, especially around events where they can be getting attention, where they can have the opportunity to re-up their status. They can update with everybody how their family is doing, how they're doing, how their work is doing, how their fitness is doing, whatever it is, their finances, their health, their kids, their extended family, their house. I mean, this is an opportunity for the narcissist to really brighten up their light. But oftentimes they will do this by dimming the lights of others. And how they do this is what is known as narcissistic rage. In other words, in order to continue their supply, which means being admired, being, the center of attention, being dominant, being controlling, being power hungry, they will oftentimes obtain this and accomplish this and succeed at this by ruining events, especially through their rage. If they can rage and secure supply this way, then it's basically a guaranteed way that they're going to dominate the culture of the get-together, the event. And she noted basically, they can do this while they're driving, either by yelling and raging at the driver, or you don't even have to be driving. They can go ahead and launch into this tirade. And so the narcissist will rage out. They can be speeding. They can be taking risky driving behaviors. They can be, racing around the house, just kind of, kicking things, breaking things inadvertently, complaining about why things are the way that they are. So it's like this seething anger that tends to be underneath the skin, and they're always finding fault with others. But the thing that to notice is that oftentimes, they do not deliver or give that which they are complaining about. So for example, it is them that is the cause of the problem. The shouting, the yelling, the lack of acceptance, the lack of being calm, the lack of being focused, the lack of being centered, the lack of being present. Oftentimes the narcissist is in another place, either in the past or in the future, where they're needing to rage about and get the center of attention. And so, be very wary of this. And as I say, be expected for the storm. Don't be surprised when they yell. Don't be surprised when they, go and boasting and bragging about, their others, and they don't want, in their family, and they don't want to hear from you. They don't want to, be interested in you, because it's very clear cut that they are going to dim the light of others to brighten their own. This is just what they do. And, oftentimes people can't understand that why they can't have an even fair exchange. Why can't we have, the law of reciprocity? Why can't the narcissist give me that which would I give them? It's not a fair playing ground. It's just not fair. And so you need to acknowledge this. You need to, expect it, and just realize and accept in perspective that you're not going to give that very, heart-to-heart experience, which is going to be comfortable for you. It's just not going to be, built into the situation. They're going to tip things. It's always going to be in their direction. And you're usually going to have to pay the price by feeling bad, by feeling inferior, by feeling small, not good enough. Something with you is inherently flawed. And, that they're going to continue to foster this impression. In fact, the same viewer made the comment, that, and I'm going to go into this in another video, but how they, create negative persona management. And they can begin this very early in life. In other words, where they begin to, scapegoat you and make you the bad guy. You cry too much, you laugh too much, you eat too much, you're too wild as a child. You're playing, and getting dirty. What's wrong with you? You're laughing and giggling, giggling and being giddy. What's wrong with you? You cry when you broke, when you scraped your knee and stubbed your toe. What's wrong with you? Pick yourself up, child. You are so miserable. You're too loud. You're too quiet. You're crying. And so you end up then, as she so aptly commented, is then you then begin to isolate yourself from the situation because of this socially engineered, you are the bad child label with which they want to hang on you. And that, then they engage in, basically what we know as triangulation or scapegoating, where they then try to categorize you, hang a label on you that you are the bad child, you're inferior, you're too rough, you're too noisy, you're too sad, you're too sullen, you're too happy, you're whatever. It's just a reflection where then the narcissist will say, this is the perfect opportunity for me to, create more attention for myself, where I can say, this is the troublemaker right here. I can take the bad attention off of me. I can put it over there. And then, furthermore, I'm going to come out with, myself in lights, because I've just then shown an authority to know who, to say who is who and what is what. So kids, especially when they're around, this type of individual, are very, very impressionable. They're looking for the big sister, the adult. They're wanting to people please. They're wanting to categorize things. They're needing structure. They're needing, they're needing some societal rules. They're hungry for this learning as a child. They want to know who is who, what is what, and they will look to the adults. They will look to the big brother to, tell them as, because they need a leader. They need that structure. They need to categorize things or label things. And then furthermore, know from the big brother, the sister, or the adult how to behave. And so, if someone has been labeled this early on, you're the troublemaker, look at you, you've got dirty feet, and then the narcissist then hangs that title on you, you're the dirty child, you're too wild, even though there's nothing wrong, you're being a kid, you're having fun, they're trying to, create this whole cacophony of negative blame shifting onto you, and then people that are wearing that label, that sign on their neck, for their entire role in the family. So do you see how it gives them a leg up to, put you down? So that's really how they, again, solidify their position as a bully. And, then they continue to build around or build out that blame shifting, where rather than taking responsibility for themselves and the fact that they can't, communicate with a child and say, oh, let's wash your feet, or, let's have fun and I can have fun with you, or, I can cry with you, I can work through your feelings with you. Tell me about what's going on at school, or like she made a statement where, as a child, she was, basically labeled and kind of ostracized in the family, saying, I can't believe you survived sleeping with her. She puts her legs on me all night. So what? That does not a bad person make. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means that kids tend to do that. They tend to roll around the bed or, move, that's just what they do. It doesn't make you a wrong person. If that's the case, then you would, as the adult, the one with more experience, the one who's older, who's more psychologically mature, would say to the child, when you sleep in a bed, when we're on vacations, make sure, you keep, over on your side of the bed. It would be a great opportunity for learning or problem solving. But no, the narcissist will continue to point the finger, the negative finger at that child. You're wrong, you're terrible, you're incorrigible, you're hurtful, no one can survive you. So then the kids all of a sudden will latch onto and gravitate towards that explanation and that label. And then next thing you know, all day, you're being laughed at, you know, you're terrible, no one can sleep with you, you know, no one can survive you. And then so they begin to then make up things in their mind which scapegoat you and isolate you, and that it has nothing to do with reality. But then kids, that's how they get the, you know, the numbers on their side. I completely understand this. This is how the original scapegoating begins. This is the seed of that dynamic. And then all the children who are thirsty for structure and are thirsty to please a mentor or go where quote unquote the power vacuum is, are more than willing, impressionable participants to go along with that assessment. Kids love to be able to, find where they belong in the group, and if they can be the better, the stronger, the one with the more knowledge or whatever, they then will gravitate. And then next thing you know, you've got a whole posse of triangulation and scapegoating going on for a very innocent child. So that's, what we talk about. It's like the innocent lamb. You were the innocent lamb, the innocent sheep where you did nothing wrong. It's a shortcoming. The bullying is a shortcoming of the character deficit within the narcissist. It has nothing to do with you. So please do not ever take to heart, and I apologize for all the years and decades where those people who have then had to isolate themselves in their room, figuring out why they're so horrible, why they're so inferior, why they would receive this, and to see this perpetuated and played out at the hands of a narcissistic parent who then sets the tone of the dynamic for, days, weeks, months, and years to come. It is more a reflection of their inadequacy versus a reflection of a poor character within you. I hope you truly understand this. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.